Well, it was an outstanding performance by Islamabad United. They needed to win this one with a certain margin and really sort of secure that spot in the top two, and that's what we saw from him. Salman Irshad nailing that Yorker, and jubilation all round in this camp. A happy camp indeed. They've been quite exceptional at the start of the HBL PSL, lost their way somewhere in the middle, but they've managed to redeem themselves, and the good news for them now is that they get more opportunities for that final. Well led by Shadab Khan as well. Overall, Islamabad United scoring those runs and making the right decisions. Well, this is how things went in this match here. Islamabad United 251 for 5 in their 20 overs. Remember, Hales was brought in and made that blistering knock. 88 of just 35 balls, was well supported by somebody like Shadab Khan. He's had a good tournament this HBL PSL. In response, Karachi Kings were never really in it. Bowled out for 172. Islamabad United winning by 79 runs. Right then, Islamabad United has managed to displace Karachi Kings from that number 2 spot, and Quetta Gladiators right at the top with 15 points. Islamabad United 12, Karachi 12. These are your 4 teams, with Lahore Qalandars at the number 4 spot. So we're off to Lahore now. The Pindi leg has finished. Quetta Gladiators at the top with Islamabad United. It's going to be the virtual knockout game that we will have in Lahore. And the advantage that Islamabad United and Quetta Gladiators both have is that they get 2 attempts at that final. So good news for both their fans. Hello and welcome to Pitside. It's been a phenomenal win for Islamabad United. They were considered the team to beat, defending champions of this HBL PSL. Lost their way somewhere in the middle of the season, but now some valuable additions with Alex Hales at the top, brought back in Rassi van der Dussen as well. So it's all been really good for Islamabad United. And to talk us through this wonderful win, we've got the captain Shadab Khan next to us alongside Bazid Khan. Shadab, thank you so much for joining us. पहले तो ये बताएं कि बड़ा ज़रूरी था, मैच जीतना तो एक बात है, लेकिन securing that top 2 spot ताकि आपके पास एक और मौका हो फाइनल के लिए, क्या डिस्कशंस हुई थी मैच में आने से पहले?
देखिए, ऑब्वियसली हमें पता तो था कि हमने कितने मार्जिन से जीतना है, या तो ऐसी कोई डिस्कशन नहीं हुई कि हमने ये करना है वो करना है। कोशिश ये की है कि बस जो चीज़ें हमें आती हैं, सिंपल प्लान्स हैं, जिस तरह हम थ्रू आउट द टूर्नामेंट हमारे प्लान्स थे उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने की कोशिश करेंगे। ये नहीं है कि अगर हमने लंबा स्कोर करना है तो उसमें ये नहीं है कि आप जाते साथ ही मारना शुरू करो। अपनी इनिंग बिल्ड करो और उसके बाद आपको अपना जो भी बॉलर आपको समझ आता है इस पिच के हिसाब से आप उसको टारगेट करो।
इंटेंट नज़र आई एट द टॉप फ्रॉम एलेक्स हेल्स एंड साहिबजादा फरहान का तो हम ज़रूर बात करेंगे क्योंकि उनका बड़ा अच्छा HBL PSL रहा है, लेकिन एलेक्स हेल्स भी इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड के साथ काफ़ी साल उन्होंने गुजारे हैं और आते साथ उन्होंने आके जिस तरह से स्कोर किया, लग नहीं रहा था कि ये उनका पहला मैच है HBL PSL का।
मेरे ख्याल से मुझे किसी से वो बात कर रहा था तो मुझे लगता है कि वो ILT20 के बाद ये पहला मैच खेला है, तो मुझे लगता है जो पैडल खेल रहा था आज शॉटें भी वैसी ही रही थी, तो मुझे लगता है वो एक एक्सपीरियंस प्लेयर है। मतलब उसके बारे में क्या बोलना, क्योंकि थ्रू आउट ईयर खेलता रहता है वैसे T20 लीग्स, लेकिन अभी वो 2-3 महीने से रेस्ट में था और अपनी फिटनेस पे काम कर रहा था, आपने देखा भी है।
लगता है इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड और एलेक्स हेल्स ब्रेक के बाद सही खेलते हैं। ब्रेक
ये मुझे तो मैं अभी आप बातें कर रही थी ना कि वो बिटवीन हमने कोई मोमेंटम लूज़ किया, सबसे पहले बंदे थे जिन्होंने नज़र लगाई हमारी टीम को। वो जैसे ही जीतते थे कहते थे कि पहले मोमेंटम तो नहीं पकड़ लिया, पहले मोमेंटम तो नहीं पकड़ लिया।
मैं आपको ये बता दूं, सबसे पहले बंदे यही थे जिन्होंने कहा था इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड मेरी मतलब टॉप टीम।
ये बात बताने वाली नहीं है।
चलो वो तो रहने दो, वो तो खुद रहते हैं ना यहीं पे।
PSL के शुरू होने से पहले इन्होंने यहाँ पे दावा दिया,
लेकिन मैं जब भी हम जीते हैं इन्होंने पूछा कि मोमेंटम जब
ब्रेक हुआ अब बेहतर
नहीं, अच्छा हुआ है, ये हर काम में अल्लाह की बेहतरी।
नहीं, कभी कभार वो कहते हैं ना कि पीकिंग टू अर्ली भी बाज़त ठीक नहीं
लेकिन
होता।
जो बार बार सवाल यही बनता है, अब जैसे एलेक्स हेल्स वापस आए हैं इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड में, जो भी प्लेयर इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड छोड़ के जाता है कभी ये वो रिग्रेट नहीं, वो अच्छे लफ्ज़ों में ही याद करते हैं। ये आपकी मैनेजमेंट का कमाल है। मुझे 2 जो आपके मैनेजमेंट में मुझे लोग पता है, एक तो ज़ुखरुफ जानी जिनको मैं जानता हूँ, कभी उनकी मुंह से ना नहीं सुना। रेहान भी इसी किस्म का है। तो शायद वो मैनेजमेंट का इतना कमाल है कि जो यूनाइटेड में प्लेयर रहता है वो हमेशा वापस भी यूनाइटेड में आता है, तो बहुत ही कंफर्टेबल रहता है।
देखिए, सबसे पहले स्टार्ट से अगर आप देखें तो अगर सबसे पहले तो इम्पोर्टेंट जो हमारे मेंबर्स हैं, हमारे ओनर्स हैं, क्योंकि जिस तरह का उन्होंने फ्री हैंड मैनेजमेंट को दिया हुआ, क्योंकि मैनेजमेंट से ही माहौल बनता है और उन्होंने फ्री हैंड दिया हुआ है। कभी सिलेक्शन में उन्होंने कभी कोई बात नहीं की, तो मुझे लगता है कि वो ज़्यादा ज़रूरी होता है वहाँ से। और दूसरा, जिस तरह आपने पूरी टीम है जो हमारी, ओबियसली हमारे जो प्लेइंग कोर है, उसी तरह हमारी मैनेजमेंट की भी कोर है, जो हम कोशिश करते हैं कि वो कभी हमारे से छूट के ना जाए। और जिस तरह आप जानी को तो जानती हैं, रेहान भाई हैं, हसन आज़म है, अजलान भाई हैं, जतोई है, जितने भी हैं, क्योंकि वो सारे ऐसे फ्रेंडली हैं। जो यंगस्टर भी आता है, अगर आप यंगस्टर से भी बात करेंगे, वो भी इंजॉय करता है, क्योंकि वो हमेशा एक दूसरे के साथ खाना भी इकट्ठे खाते हैं।
मुझे लगता है
कंपनी
रोटी टाइम पे मिलती है, रोटी आगे
नहीं,
पीछे
मुझे लगता है थोड़ा लेट हो गया आज।
गया।
हाँ, लेट हो गया आजकल काम, मैच लेट ख़त्म होता ना।
अच्छा, ये बताएं कि जिस तरह आपने एक अच्छी इन्वायरमेंट की बात की कि इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड की इन्वायरमेंट बहुत अच्छी है, लेकिन इन्वायरमेंट अच्छी होने की वजह से प्लेयर्स भी जो हैं वो आगे परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, नज़र आ रहा है। स्पिनर्स में आपकी अपनी परफॉर्मेंस, उस पर भी बात करेंगे, लेकिन इमाद वसीम का भी बड़ा अच्छा रोल रहा है इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड के लिए। इतनी आसान कंडीशंस तो नहीं है पिंडी की जहाँ पे इतनी बैटिंग फ्रेंडली है, तो उनका रोल कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड के लिए?
बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि अगर आप उसके थ्रू आउट द टूर्नामेंट अभी देखें, जैसी मर्जी कंडीशन हो, वो हमें कंटेन करके देता है और कंटेन के साथ वो विकेट भी लेके दे रहा है। तो जो हम चीज़ उससे डिमांड करते हैं, जितना वो एक्सपीरियंस है और जितनी अब क्रिकेट को वो इन्जॉय करना शुरू हुआ है, मैंने काफ़ी अर्से बाद उसको देखा है कि वो क्रिकेट को इतना ज़्यादा इन्जॉय कर रहा है। तो एक बहुत ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव इंसान है, जो बहुत ज़्यादा पॉजिटिव एनर्जी लेके आता है टीम में। तो ऐसे प्लेयर आपको टीम में चाहिए होते हैं, जो एक्सपीरियंस भी है जिसके पास, और मैच विनर है, प्रूवन मैच विनर है, तो ऐसे प्लेयर आपको हमेशा चाहिए होते हैं टीम।
लेकिन इस दफ़ा आपने यूज़ उसको थोड़ा डिफरेंट किया है। नॉर्मली जब आप टीम शीट देखते हैं, इमाद वसीम ये नया बॉल करेगा, पावर प्ले में करेगा, लेकिन आप लोगों ने उसको ज़रा पावर प्ले के बाद यूज़ किया है।
देखिए, वो तो कम्बिनेशन के लिहाज से अगर आप देखें तो अगर आज हमारा वैसे प्लान था, लेकिन क्योंकि वार्नर खेल रहा था, तो हमने कोशिश की है कि जब हम बैटिंग भी कर रहे थे, पिच थोड़ा लो था और थोड़ा स्लो साइड पे था, तो हमने यही असेस किया कि अगर जितना बॉल पुराना होता जा रहा है, वो थोड़ा मुश्किल है, किसी भी, चाहे फास्ट बॉलर हो चाहे स्पिनर हो। स्पिनर को थोड़ा ये था कि होल्ड भी ज़्यादा मिल रहा था आज की पिच से, पिंडी वाली पिच से, तो कोशिश ये की है कि जितना मिडल में उसको यूज़ किया जाए, और उसने कंटेन भी करके दिया और 2 क्रूशियल विकेट लेके दिए। तो
लाहौर की कंडीशंस पिंडी से बहुत मुख्तलिफ हैं, वहाँ पे एक डिफरेंट रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, तो वहाँ पे ये वाली अप्रोच जो एक इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड की अप्रोच है, विच इज़ सॉर्ट ऑफ टू गेट गोइंग, जिसे कहते हैं फ्रॉम बॉल 1, वो वाला हमें नज़र आएगा, वो वाली अप्रोच नज़र आएगी, या आपको थोड़ा सा अडेप्ट करना पड़ेगा? क्योंकि जैसे कि मैंने कहा, वहाँ की कंडीशंस थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट है।
नहीं, देखें, ओबियसली अडेप्ट करना पड़ेगा। जो हम पिछले 3 मैचेस वहाँ खेलें, वो काफ़ी डिफरेंट थी, यहाँ की कंडीशन से वो काफ़ी मुश्किल थी। T20 के लिहाज से वो वाली कंडीशन बहुत कम ही मिलती है, तो डेफिनेटली हमें अडेप्ट करना पड़ेगा। शायद वेदर, अभी काफ़ी टाइम तो हो गया, मेरे ख्याल 2 हफ्ते हो गए हैं, तो शायद वेदर की वजह से कंडीशन चेंज हो जाएगी, लेकिन ओबियसली जब हम जाएंगे कोशिश करेंगे कि कंडीशन को असेस करें और उसके साथ ही अपने प्लान्स बनाएं।
आपकी अपनी बॉलिंग पे आ जाते हैं। इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड की जब आप जर्सी पहनते हैं तो लगता है एक डिफरेंट हमें शादाब खान नज़र आता है, क्या रीज़न है इसका? आई मीन, यू फील मोर कंफर्टेबल इन दिस एनवायरनमेंट, और व्हाट इज़ इट? वी सी अ डिफरेंट फॉर्म ऑफ यू।
देखिए, इसमें मुझे खुद नहीं समझ आ रही, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा फ्री होता हूँ, और इधर मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा एंजॉय करता हूँ, और शायद ऐसा माहौल, बैकिंग मिली हुई है मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा, ये भी हो सकता है। लेकिन अभी तक मैं खुद जज नहीं कर पाया कि क्या ज़्यादा चीज़ें डिफरेंट हो रही हैं, कि मैं जब इस्लामाबाद की तरफ से आता हूँ तो एक डिफरेंट कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल भी मेरा हाई होता है, और अगर मुझे अच्छी लिटरली आज मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि पूरे टूर्नामेंट में मैंने जितनी भी बॉलिंग कराई है, आज मेरे हाथ से वैसा बॉल निकल नहीं रहा था, लेकिन आउट हुए हैं। लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि अगर मैं अच्छा नहीं भी करता, स्टिल जो बैकिंग होती है, कोई जज करने वाला नहीं होता, तो मुझे लगता है वो वाला फ्री हैंड
शायद ऐसे तो नहीं है जैसे कि इंसान जब घर जाता है तो बिल्कुल ही रिलैक्स, ऐसे लगता है कि शादाब खान का असल घर जो है वो इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड, यहाँ से ही आपका राइज़ हुआ है, और जो लोग आपके साथ चल रहे हैं वो शुरू से ही आपके साथ हैं। तो फ्री हैंड की आपने बात की है, लेकिन कंफर्ट लेवल बहुत ज़्यादा हो।
बहुत ज़्यादा है, क्योंकि जिस तरह अभी आपने बात की है कि स्टार्ट ही यहीं से किया और अभी भी वहीं, और एक घर की तरह फील होता है, क्योंकि जब आपको पीस चाहिए होता है तो आप हमेशा अपने घर की तरफ ही जाते हो। तो ओबियसली एक रिलैक्स माहौल है, एनवायरनमेंट भी है, कंफर्ट जोन भी दिया हुआ है, तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें।
अच्छा, माइक हैसन अब पाकिस्तान टीम के भी कोच अनाउंस हो चुके हुए हैं। वैसे उनकी रोल के ऊपर भी काफ़ी प्लेयर से भी बात की है कि कितना उनका सॉर्ट ऑफ एक कंफर्टेबल रिलैक्स्ड एनवायरनमेंट रखते हैं। आपकी उनके साथ कैसी है एक जिसे कहते हैं इक्वेशन उनके साथ, कैसा कोच उनको समझते हैं? ज़्यादा कंसल्ट करते हैं उनके साथ, या फिर ज़्यादा बस बाहर बैठ के ज़रा चुप करके ऑब्जर्व करते हैं चीज़ें?
देखिए वो
डिफरेंट अंदाज होते हैं कोचेस के।
हाँ, वो ऑब्ज़र्व करता है, और मुझे लगता है कि मैंने इतना काम कोच वैसे कभी देखा नहीं। जैसी मर्जी सिचुएशन हो, बहुत काम रहता है। पता नहीं वो ये इमोशनल इतना ज़्यादा है नहीं कि अपने इमोशन रोक के रख कर, बड़े मुश्किल है, लेकिन बहुत काम है। होपफुली जिस तरह मैंने पहले बात की है कि एक फ्री हैंड और कंफर्ट जोन जिस तरह उसके पास है इधर, होपफुली वो जो पाकिस्तान टीम के भी कोच रहे, तो उसमें हम सब लोगों का बहुत अहम किरदार है, आप सब लोगों का भी, कि वो वाला कंफर्ट जोन दिया जाए, टीम बिल्ड करने के लिए उसको टाइम दिया जाए। तो मुझे लगता है बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो वो अच्छे तरीके से कर सकता है।
अच्छा, वो सब छोड़ें, आप बहुत शानदार फील्डर हैं। यहाँ पे इस HBL PSL में, बल्कि खासकर पिंडी में, ये हाई कैचेस ने छूट क्यों रहे? क्या आपकी क्या थ्योरी है?
मुझे तो वैसे इतना कोई डिफरेंट लगा नहीं है। ये तो आपकी अपनी प्रिपरेशन कैसी है वो ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। मुझे लगता है कि आजकल के स्टिल जो लड़के आ रहे हैं यंगस्टर, काफ़ी अच्छे फील्डर हैं, लेकिन कभी कभार ये होता है कि आप अच्छे फील्डर होते आप रिलैक्स होना शुरू हो जाते हो, क्योंकि आपको लगता है कि आप वो वाली चीज़ें ईज़िली कर सकते हैं। तो जो हमारे दोनों यंगस्टर भी हैं, मेरी उनसे उस दिन भी बात हो रही थी कि मुझे लगता है कि वो पाकिस्तान के बेस्ट फील्डर में से एक हैं। तो लेकिन वो जब भी बॉल के नीचे आते हैं तो थोड़ा रिलैक्स होते हैं। जिस तरह हम अभी अगर क्लब क्रिकेट खेलते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि हम चीज़ें जाके ईज़िली कर सकते हैं। तो जब कोई अच्छा फील्डर होता है तो वो उसको लगता है कि यार जो भी है मैं ईज़िली चीज़ें कर सकता हूँ।
चलें, ठीक है शदाब, आपके थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर टाइम, एंड उम्मीद यही करते हैं कि आपको गुड लक कहते हैं अगले मैच के लिए, एंड होपफुली सी यू इन लाहौर।
उधर नहीं होंगे?
नहीं,
उधर भी बोल देना। खैर
हम भी उधर ही होंगे।
आपने पहले कुछ नहीं बोलना कि मोमेंटम गलत पकड़ा है, सही पकड़ा है, जो भी पकड़ा है सही पकड़ा है।
नहीं, ये इनकी अभी तक प्रेडिक्शंस बहुत अच्छी जा रही हैं बाजिद की।
पहली 4 प्रेडिक्शन की जो हमारे थे
वो तो जान के करवाए थे ना।
अच्छा,
जान के करवाए थे। वरना तो
कहना ये चाह रहे हैं कि पहले शुरू में जीतना, फिर एक आध कुछ मैचेस हारना, फिर दोबारा से मतलब एक वो अप एंड डाउन होता रहता है। तो खैर बड़ी अच्छी इनकी प्रेडिक्शन थी। देखते हैं कि ये प्रेडिक्शन एंड तक क्या होता है आपकी प्रेडिक्शन का बाजिद। बट थैंक यू सो मच वंस अगेन शदाब, प्लेजर टू हैव यू ऑन पिच साइड। Huge congratulations to Islamabad United. We'll take a short break, and when we come back we'll have a closer look at this game. Back on pitch side, just talking about how good Islamabad United have been and what a fantastic position they are now in when you look at this HBL PSL 10. Now we've been joined by Dominic Coke on pitch side. Koki, just the kind of win Islamabad United would have wanted.
Yep.
They are now in the top 2. They had a particular sort of ambition for today, and they managed to fulfill it.
Yeah, I think they've filled the spaces that became vacant overseas. Say that again, sorry?
Urdu segment?
No Urdu. Well, I was waiting for you to that long statement that you came out. Shadab was sitting there for about 10 minutes while you're just going on and on and on.
Did you understand
Anyway,
anything?
let's go back to the question. You just need to just relax a little bit. Aramse, okay?
Yeah, there you
just
go.
Aramse.
Hanji, batao.
Ultimately, I think what Islamabad United did really well. I'm looking at you now, Zainab. I'm keeping him away from it. Just the fact that Mike Hesson, I think, on the back of those 4 losses, it could have been easy for them to just think, okay, we've lost a few players. But what they did is they go back to Alex Hales, knows all about PSL. Van der Dusen, okay, not a great game for him, but we know what he can do. Tamal Mills with his experience. And the fact that what they did, they gelled well. He's back from his injury because he had that injury. And ultimately, let's be honest. I know you spoke to David Warner. I know we're talking about Islamabad. Did they get it wrong? I think they did. You can't worry about it. And I understand exactly the answers he gave you there about we've got to just get on with it. It is what it is. They didn't bat, bowl, field well. But Shadab Khan must be walking across there now thinking, how have we done that? We're in the top two. We've got 2 chances getting through on the back of 4 losses. So brilliant from Hessen, brilliant from Shadab. I think he's the best captain in PSL at the moment, and brilliant from their team.
But I think they did get lucky too, because Shadab was going to field first anyway, and a team that has lost 4 on the trot, chasing does become a problem, and especially once you've got so much on the line. It was much freer when they batted first. Yes, Farhan batted beautifully, so did Alex Hales, but it just took a little bit of pressure off. Like, look, you have to do it the harder way. You have to get a lot of runs and then bowl the side out. And batting first, it just freed them up. And I thought it worked perfectly for them.
I'm not a massive stats man. I think, look, stats are very important. And I think as this game has evolved, this 2020 game has evolved, stats are very important. But when you've got a stat that the last 10 games, only 2 sides have chased, that just shows you that you should be looking to bat first. So, surprised that both teams wanted to bowl first. They had a little bit of luck. David Warner decided to have a bowl. But ultimately, it's about doing the 3 parts of the game right. They batted well. They bowled well. I think they could probably field a bit better, and the 3 and into the top 2.
Shadab Khan spoke about, how comfortable he feels with Islamabad United, and that is now, it's reflecting in the outcomes that we are seeing for Islamabad United. They seem to be the most consistent team in the history of HBL PSL.
Yeah, the core of the management has stayed the same. The way that they play all their game, all their cricket is the same. You know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to attack. Some days it's not going to work, but they stick to their way of playing. And for Shadab, I've mentioned this before, I think it was the first or second game of this HBL PSL, and I thought this is sort of his coming back to his home. It is where it all started. It is where he's most comfortable at. And as he mentioned himself, that he's allowed to make decisions, and they'll back him. All his decisions, if they go right or wrong, doesn't matter. They'll back him. So that sort of shows you that the name United, yes, but because of the fact that they're so comfortable playing for Islamabad United, that it sort of all just takes that little edge off their performance.
Do you know also, I know we're just going on about this, Imad Wasim, we probably won't talk about him here, but just look what he did. Look how he just shut it down on look, it's easy, not easy, I wouldn't say it's easy. It's easier as a bowler when the runs are on the board, right? But the fact that how he bowled, how he shut down Vince, how he shut down Warner on a flat track, that is what a senior bowler does, whether he's a seam bowler or a spin bowler. I think he's been a great asset since making that move and coming to Islamabad United. And there's lots been talked about him as an individual. He's an integral part to why they've got themselves in the top 2.
And we spoke to Shadab Khan about exactly that. I mean, we asked him about Imad Wasim and how integral, how underrated he is perhaps for Islamabad United. But, you spoke about how they all feel at home when it comes to Islamabad United. There's another player who really does feel at home whenever he plays for Islamabad United. I'm talking about none other than Alex Hales, coming into the business end of the tournament and playing that fabulous knock. He's our player of the match.
You know how good a player he is, what quality he brings, and once he comes into a tournament knowing that there are only 3 or 4 games, he can really express himself. And we saw the best of him today, absolutely brilliant with his hits down the ground, so clear in his mind what he's got to do. And we know the immense talent that he has, especially in white ball cricket, especially in T20 cricket, where he's magnificent.
I want to pick up, I'm sorry to pick up, 495 games Alex Hales has played in T20 cricket. That's what you get, and that's why I think I'll go back to Hessen, go back to the management, bringing him in. I know he only lives in Dubai now, so it's only a little hop over, but I just think it's clever to have somebody like him. He's ready to play, and for me, when you've got somebody of that stature in your team, you've got a chance of not just winning this game, but winning the tournament.
Almost as many games as first-class games for you.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Plenty of experience in the house with the Koki as well. Just touching upon what Koki's talking about, Alex Hales, all the experience in the world, a player like him doesn't really need a lot of games to get going. I mean, just touching upon the fact that sometimes you do need to get in a bit of rhythm, get some form behind him, but he can pretty much sort of hit at will.
Yeah, no, not at all. He's sort of at that stage of the career that he can come in and take as many risks as he likes. But the quality that he's possessed throughout his career, especially in white ball cricket, he's been such a dangerous player. Unfortunately, his international career hasn't been as long as it should have been in white ball cricket. But the talent that he has in attacking spin and fast bowling, and he's like a 360 player with power all throughout the field. So very difficult to shut him down when he's on song, and he knows exactly what he's going to do. Once it comes off like this, and the match sort of almost becomes one-sided.
I'll tell you what, that top order is now looking extremely lethal. You've got Alex Hales, and on the other end, you've got somebody like Sahibzada Farhan, who scored, nearly 400 runs in this tournament. So many sixes as well. So great going overall for Sahibzada Farhan. Time to have a look at some of his boundaries.
Nine fours and three sixes, and what you'll see here is just proper cricket shots. Don't overhit it, get on top of the bounce, just look to use the pace. I think that's a little lesson for any boy or girl out there. You know, we talk about power hitting. You don't have to be a power hitter to be successful in T20, and that is what is important. Then when you get in, then you can perhaps go over the top and muscle it. You know, he has a little bit of luck, but he's been another player. One of the reasons why they are now in that top two. He's played beautifully throughout.
Just talking about Sahibzada Farhan as well, and just in terms of how he's evolved as a player, Basis, from what we saw of him when he started to now, how much do you think his game has improved?
Oh, he's learnt about his game. He knows his strengths now. This season in first-class cricket, in domestic cricket, and even in T20 cricket domestically, he came into this HBL PSL in form. Now he's one of those players who's got 400s in 1 year in T20 cricket. So that shows you the kind of form he is in. But the fact of the matter now is that he trusts his ability far more than he did a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. He's honed that in, and even today when he started off, you saw him just try and time the ball, just play to his strength. And when he's playing to his strength and just not trying to overhit it, he even scores faster than when he's actually trying to muscle it. So to be calm and to be able to do that on top of the order when you know that you've got to score big and just trust your ability, your game. I think he's learned a lot about himself and how he plays, and that's why he's now churning out more performances, because of the fact that in these past couple of years he's been able to identify his strength and how he's going to go about getting runs.
Areas of improvement for Islamabad United, when you look at the top order, of course, that seems to be relatively sorted. What do you look at from their perspective, perhaps an area that you feel they need to work on?
Fielding, definitely, but I don't think that's just down to Islamabad United. I think they all could be better at fielding. Catches, we've seen so many catches. I know here that they talk about the lights being lower maybe, and that's an issue. I don't know. I just see too many catches being put down by a lot of teams. So there's one area. Death bowling. I talked about it last night. I think that's something that all teams, and Islamabad United, any team who's going to win this competition, I think bowling-wise has to try and dominate, which is not easy on flat tracks in power play, but also at the end. Just take your medicine. Just be happy just to be going one or two a ball. It's not easy, I understand that, but I think sometimes bowlers just overthink it. So they're the two areas. But I think we said at the start, didn't they? When they went 5 games undefeated, we were talking about they have the best squad. And you look at what the replacements they brought in, they've got the best squad again. Gladiators going well, yes, but when you look at that after that performance, they are now the team to beat. They've set that benchmark a little bit higher, and now they've got 2 chances of getting to the final.
Absolutely, and perhaps somebody like even Salman Ali Agha, he's had his share of injuries. If he sort of gets going, then that middle order can score for Islamabad United, and then they've got all their bases covered. So Islamabad United looking good, and for now it's time for the refreshing moments of the day.
Come on, Buzz, talk us through this. You tell me what this is all about.
I don't know if this is a refreshing moment because it was chaos. Throw, hold it, no, I'll throw. Hold it, no, I'll throw again. And from, what, one run, they got 3, and I think there was another throw coming in. Warner ran from long on to the wicket.
We didn't get a shot. I would love to have had a shot.
Comedy of errors.
Oh,
that was brilliant.
Just hold the ball. And it's amazing when you're under pressure how your mind scrambles. You've got Mohammed Nabi, the president, who's played so many games, hurling the ball. It goes for overthrows, and you just think, hold the ball. But that's just scoreboard pressure. It was a comedy of errors, and something they'll put to bed quite
Alistair
quickly.
Cook said on commentary that's something that under 11s do. Don't hold on to the ball, throw it.
Yeah.
And also, he talked about the bowlers getting their medicine. Now time for Corky and my medicine. So we have to go. Come on, get to a break.
All right then. Bazid's in a rush. Very clearly he's in a rush. He's had enough. But on that note, we'll take a short break. And of course, we're talking about Islamabad United and how good they've been. Where did Karachi Kings lose this one? More on that on the other side. Back on pitch side and just discussing how good Islamabad United have been in this game. They've now got 2 opportunities to make it towards that final as well. Karachi Kings, though, will be looking back and thinking perhaps they've lost out on this great opportunity. Remember, they were number 2 on that table. And now I've been joined by Martin Kaptal and Alistair Cook. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on pitch side. Spoke about Islamabad United, but just Karachi Kings then, not their day overall. Things didn't start well for them at the top because we saw somebody like Alex Hales really sort of putting them under pressure. Overall, where do you think Karachi went wrong today?
Well, I think they played today not to lose by a big margin. Rather than actually saying we are second, we're playing to win. And that started really with the toss. I think when you interviewed David Warner, he said, no, we wanted to chase because that's what we wanted to do. But all the stats said not to chase. And he straight away knew that if Islamabad got 200, they'd only need 150 to get through. So they'd thought about it, and it was fine tactically, but I think that rubbed off on everyone. They went in not to lose 2 matches, rather than saying, right, we are the second best team in here. We are ahead of them in the league. Let's go and win those 2 points, and we're guaranteed second place. So I think mentality cost them today, and Islamabad threw the first punch, shocked them, and they just could not grab it back.
Yeah, it was almost like, they were put under pressure right from the first ball when Alex Hales came out with Sahibzada Farhan, and then they never really got back into the game. Even when they were approaching the target, like sort of Alistair pointed out, they were way behind.
Yeah, Islamabad never let them try and get back into the contest, did they? They were so overpowering tonight with whatever they did. I mean, the batting was just fantastic. There's a few balls in there that should have been put away, which they did, which as a batter you want to do. And they just put them on the back foot straight away. They just never let them back into the game. It was such a dominant performance from Islamabad.
And even when they batted, it was quite clear pretty much straight away that when Warner and Seifert, who've been outstanding, and Vince, been outstanding top order, they weren't going for the 250. They'd set 200 and they played within themselves. You don't win T20 games like that. You don't win the tournament. If one thing they will say, they can just park that now. They have to win 3 games in a row. And actually, we saw the clarity from Islamabad. They knew they had to dominate. So when you have to do that, if they lost, it didn't really matter. They're still in. And even if they lost trying, fine. But now Karachi, they've got the doubt out of their mind. They've got their poor performance out of their mind. That's what they have to be saying. And it's just 3 games, 3 wins. And actually, you look at those 4 teams, on their day, anyone
can win.
Because they're full of match winners. So it's going to be really exciting. But Karachi today were poor.
Yeah, exciting times ahead when you look at what you've got in this competition. Now, we've seen a lot of dropped catches in this HBL PSL 10, but some good ones as well. James Vince was always going to be a crucial wicket. Time to have a look at the safe hands for today.
Yeah, not the easiest ground to catch up by the looks of things. And this is James Vince. Salman, he should catch it. He did catch it. But it was a crucial moment because they know how important these top 3 have been for Karachi. And it's been hit a little bit flat, straight into the breadbasket. Safe hands, and the man bowled beautifully as well.
Well, Shadab Khan spoke about the role of Imad Wasim, how important it's been in this entire HBL PSL 10. He's been rather underrated, quietly sort of doing his job, getting the wickets, and also super economical as well. He got the all-important wicket of David Warner. It's also our turning point of the game.
Yeah, huge wicket for Islamabad to get here, and Imad Wasim is a big game player. He steps up in those tight, tough moments, and remember from last year in the final series, he got 5 wickets in the final, and he was a big man with the bat and leading into that final as well. He scored big runs, so it's not only with the ball, it is everything else that he comes with as well.
Well, I like that term, big match player for Imad Wasim. You know, you've represented that franchise, and he seems to be really stepping up whenever is required of him, whether it's with the bat, whether it's with the ball. The one thing that we've seen from Imad Wasim is that he's got a lot of character.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on him last year. He wasn't performing as well as he would have liked to, but come the finals time, leading into that, I think at this stage we needed to win the last game to make it through to the final series, and he got 50 odd with the bat, I think it was, and was just so calm under pressure, took the pressure completely off everybody else, and just played the situation, and it was exactly what we needed at the right time, and he got us through. And then in the finals he just did exactly the same thing. We needed him to stand up.
He's worked out that angle, that left arm around the left hand in particular. You know, you talk about matchups, the ball turning in is what everyone says you don't want to do. You know, Nabi didn't bowl at all for Karachi because he was bowling to right-handers, but Imad around the wicket, left arm, sliding it into left-handers, cramping up. He never really gets got. I'm going to get a little bit of stick because I said that wicket might be a little bit slow and low. He proved me a little bit right because he did.
He just had to bring that point in. He just had to bring that point in.
I had to. Yeah. Look at that wicket. It was slow and low. Skidded
I'll tell you what, he's been talking all day about that he's got his... Somehow he wanted to get his prediction right, that the ball was keeping a bit low, it was a bit slow. But anyway, Cookie, we'll let you have your moment of fame, whatever you want to call it, whichever way you want to put it. Yeah, speaking of Karachi Kings, in response to that mammoth total, they needed a start. They got going, but they couldn't really continue that. Didn't really see a lot of partnerships. Time to have a look at their fall of wickets.
Yeah, well, they got a 50, and at this stage they're going to the raid. What a great Yorker that was. And then we've seen it already. Imad get the crucial wicket of James Vince, who's been in outstanding form. The youngster, a big hack. I think the pressure got to him. And then the real big moment for me, David Warner. With him in, he could have won them the game. But when that happened, they were pretty much dead and buried.
Yeah, and then up steps Shadab Khan. 4 wickets, he bowled extremely well. Luckily that one a little bit of drag down, but picked the man out, and he just put the ball in the areas. He went fishing there with that one, and he got the rewards for it.
He uses nous though. He uses nous. He got a bit greedy towards the end. That was he got 2 wickets in 2 balls, 2 overs, sorry. And this is the finishing moment when just about they thought they're going to the Yorker, the in-swinging Yorker, but the only place you could bowl on this wicket where you weren't getting whacked. Finish the game. What a win for Islamabad.
Well, plenty to think about for Karachi Kings. They've won a few games, lost a few, been a bit inconsistent, but a new challenge lies ahead in Lahore. Plenty to look forward to overall because they play their arch rivals Lahore Qalandars. Next, we'll take a short break. Be back just in a bit. Back on pitch side, and it's a day that has belonged to Alex Hales. He's been absolutely magnificent with the bat. All that power behind all those sixes. Time to revisit some of them.
When you fly in for what could be, 1 or 2 games, you want to be able to perform straight away, and that's exactly what Alex Hales did. He hit the ball hard, he hit the ball with power, and he showed his experience by coming in and putting in a match-winning performance straight away. He was impressive tonight. That's a great shot, that one. Just a flick of the wrists. Again, he's just got so much power. He's a big man. and he made those Karachi bowlers really pay for their mistakes. It was belligerent, it was powerful, and it was great to watch.
Yeah, we spoke about the fact, Cookie, that he doesn't require a lot of games to get some form going behind him, and he's coming towards the business end of the tournament and started smacking all those sixes.
Well, he picked a good wicket to come in on, didn't he? Outstanding player. What he is he's so simple with his technique. There's not much can go wrong. So when he's on because he has a wide base and he clears his leg a little bit, and there's long levers added with power, and he's got a hell of a swing. So he's got a good golf swing, and he kind of transfers that into his batting. So when he hits it, it stays hit. No ground is big enough.
No, definitely not. And being able to watch it tonight as well, it is simple, isn't it? It looks simple. He doesn't think too much about it when he's out there. If he gets out, he gets out. He doesn't mind. And then tonight, he had a great day. It was a great day to watch, and he's put Islamabad right through.
Well, if he keeps going the way he is, it's definitely going to help the case of Islamabad United, because they'll be in action once again. Remember, we've now only got a few games left in this HBL PSL as Islamabad United face the table toppers, Quetta Gladiators, on May 21st at 7:20 p.m. That's the qualifier live from Lahore. Don't forget this exciting contest. It's the arch rivals Karachi Kings once again up against Lahore Qalandars, and it's essentially the eliminator. May 22nd, it'll be at 7:20 p.m. from Lahore, and plenty to look forward to in that one, because whoever loses is out of the competition. Just predictions then, looking at both these contests, Quetta versus Islamabad, both these sides have done really well. Quetta are the table toppers. Islamabad United are the team that started really well in the HBL PSL, lost a bit of form, but now seem to have gained it back. I mean, who are you rooting for?
Well, all my predictions have been wrong the last 2 days, so I wouldn't take any notice of what I say. Be interesting to see what the pitches are like. We saw at the beginning of it, at Lahore, they had lots of pace and bounce, which will suit Lahore's bowlers. Whether they flattened out a little bit. I'm going to go for Karachi Kings to go against the odds. I think Lahore will be favourites at home. I think Karachi will win that game, and I think the performance today of Islamabad, they are the most well-balanced team, I think. So I think they will go through to the final.
So that means Lahore and Islamabad are winning. Going by your predictions so far. Just kidding, Cookie. We love a bit of prediction here on pitch side. Your thoughts, Kapi?
Well, I'm going to go Quetta for the qualifier, and then for the eliminator, I'm going to go Karachi as well.
Simple thoughts as to why?
I just think both teams are playing better cricket. I think Quetta while they've had a couple of games off, I think they've just been playing better. They've been playing well. And Karachi, tonight aside, I think they've been one of the better teams leading into this as well.
All right, then. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I think it's time to head home, certainly for all of us here. It's been a great game for Islamabad United. Definitely, they've got what they wanted. Karachi Kings will be looking to regroup, come back, play arch rivals Lahore. That's going to be a huge contest. So a lot of blockbuster stuff awaits you in Lahore. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us.